Building an info offer requires engineering an industry-leading fulfillment. If you don't give a great service, you're basically just a pathological liar. Content architecture without a backbone is a facade. In an industry where trust is at an all-time low, are you actually building a company that's gonna stand the test of time? Because every client equates to a certain amount of fulfillment load. Depending on how you engineer your fulfillment decides how many clients you can welcome, signifying your company's scalability and leverage. If you don't have a scalable fulfillment, you'll be up for a rough start. No matter how many eyeballs you attract, if your fulfillment is designed to stay at 30K, you're up for a losing game. My name is June, and after helping clients scale their offer past multiple six figures, I decided to shut it all down. To go on an impossible mission, help every intellectual city we build stand the test of time with fulfillment engineering. And we start with our first project. I want to go on a refresher because Zach here is a fitness offer and he helps business professionals go from skinny fat to fit, and I reminded also with you with the last episode with him. But right now, specifically in this video, I want to go over his fulfillment, and this is going to be helpful for you if we're watching from afar, and everything that's going to be implemented is you can implement your own. So I hope you're going to learn a lot, and let's go over it. Right? Let's do it. So I want to go back to the brand identity heat map because fulfillment is directly proportional to your proof of skills, and it's inversely proportional to your brand. So as we're scaling up our brand, we're having an access to much more scalability, but our fulfillment load gets slower and slower and lower involvement from the founder, not from the team. The team is still involved in the day-to-day process, but the founder himself needs to find the high leverage task in order for him to scale the business up and up. And so you already have a good background to this, and I'm pretty sure that you've learned a lot from this graph yesterday. So I want to skip this process, and I would love to go on how we turn our offer from being a bridge from the point A of your clients to the point B, which is their outcome. And there's 4 phases for them to go to really take their roadmaps in their journey. And there's varying involvement from you here as the founder. For example, what are the things or tasks for us to delegate, automate, or eliminate? Just like how a founder should function. And the first one are frameworks. The frameworks are your own body of knowledge that you teach to your clients, right? So these are the lessons and in the Google Docs, which you should be transferring to Notion. And then we have our implementations, which are the actual step-by-step guides that you or your CSM or your team members has to go over and implement with your clients in their review calls, in the SOPs and the tutorials that you send them, right? And we also have an accountability. Accountability is the highest part of leverage for any info business because every single person on the internet can now access every single knowledge, and in YouTube or in Google, it's a search on ChatGPT and it's a search on Claude. But the real moneymaker is the accountability, where you take someone and handheld them through the entire process. It basically an in-person program, which is a fitness offer. So accountability with you or your team members is highly reliant on them. Now we have feedback loops, which is how we can make it efficient for your clients and you yourself to every single avenue where you can learn from them and them learning from you is a feedback loop which feeds the business, moves you closer to your scalability, because every single client is a data point, because every single client is different. How can we take these different cases of studies from different clients and pull out a narrative that we can use in our marketing? So fulfillment is not just the day-to-day operations. It's not just the automations and SOPs. It's also a living body of knowledge in order for us to grab and grasp. And now, based on these 4 step-by-step processes, we have to understand the varying involvement with you as the founder. What are the things that we could automate? Frameworks are something that can be automated. Once you do it for one single time, you could basically like take it as an evergreen asset that they can always access. And how about delegation? The implementation is already set out for you. Basically, you have a coach or you're a client success manager for your clients, meaning they go over the program with a person already in hand taking them step by step to the process, meaning it's already delegated from you as the founder with your team member. Then we also have to eliminate some tasks. Out of your task as a founder, we could take the accountability part out of your side. Because now, how many clients are you managing?
We're managing about 20 clients.
20 clients. Imagine yourself chatting 20 different times in a single day and they all reply. It's gonna be a headache because the feedback from every single one is gonna be too much to take in order for you to really think on a single day-to-day basis. And chatting and messaging people is not a highly leveraged task. Depending if it's a deal or it's an appointment that's gonna be close, because it has to be eliminated from you as a founder. It has to be delegated to and passed on to your team members. Now, you as a founder is the main anchor point in the business. You are the North Star of your prospects and your clients that they go to before they get to the program, which is the offer, before they get to the outcome. Meaning you can facilitate them to go to this roadmap all in a single step-by-step basis. For example, how do you facilitate this? We can script out the group calls and facilitate them to think a certain way that we want them to think. We change their belief systems and identity basis, meaning we facilitate them to think on a long way, which benefits them, that caters to that program. So let's go over the next one. When does fulfillment start? I want to go over your thoughts here. What do you think? When do you think is the right process to start fulfilling for your clients?
I think it's the moment you close them.
The moment you close them. I would be differentiating from that thought process because, like with your experience to me, when did you actually get the value out of me? What was the main lever mechanism in which you got easily close to the deal?
That was the
Loom video, exactly, right? So before you even got close, before you even hopped on the call with me, you already know that you're gonna be with me, right? You're gonna be in this exact same seat talking about how we can grow your personal brand and how you can actually scale the offer, right? So I would say that fulfillment starts definitely when they decided to book a call with you. That's the moment where they already trusted you. It's not just a point of curiosity where they're just trying to check it out. No, there's a part of them that sees themselves in a position where they're gonna be with you and go to this path together. And so it happens specifically in the post-booking sequence. When after they book a call, you want to send them a congratulations video, bro. Like it's just a simple selfie video where you can say, yo, Zach here, I want to congratulate you for taking the right step and I'm going to be seeing you quickly on a call. Basically hyping them up on taking the right step and setting the goal and making sure that their target and they don't get away with that target, right? Now, a post-booking sequence is not a sequence if it's just a congratulations video. A value email would be very beneficial, bro. What happens after you book a call with you right now?
Well, I'll just send them a quick video to watch.
Yeah?
And then I'll ask for his insights on that video. And then we wait till we...
That's the VSL on the YouTube.
It's a different video.
It's the different video. So what if we could take it up a notch and we send them a value email? This could be like educating them on a diet plan or an exercise or whatever that will make them trust you more, because we want to increase their trust longer and longer as they get closer to the point of hopping on a call with you, right? And then you want to send them a testimonial case study. We have tons of testimonial and case study. We have hundreds of clients that we've worked with already. And of course, they might have seen that already in the stories, but it's always important on reminding them, because like I said in the very beginning before we even recorded this video, people are more reliably be reminded than educated. The common knowledge bases are already there, but they sometimes need to be pushed and reminding on some certain stuff, right? And then we have them a custom asset. For example, what if a certain part of your program can be handed to them for free? And you might be asking, but it's part of my premium flagship program. How can I make sure that this doesn't go to waste? Basically, one of that flagship premier program is just a totality of a different access of steps from your offer to the outcome that they want to have. You can literally pull out an asset from your program and you send straight to them, and it increases the trust. It increases the trust that if you're gonna go over what everyone is not doing in your industry, that you can give this something that people pay for free, they would increase the trust with you. And there's a certain meaning about it. There's a certain gesture of love and hospitality, right? And again, this is one that you already do, which is a text reminder, basically from WhatsApp or Instagram. Now, again, that's just a sneak peek of a post-booking sequence. But after the client gets closed, the first important days when you onboard a client is the first 7 days of touch point. For example, your experience with me, bro, we haven't even had like 7 straight days of touch points. We had like 2 calls and then 2 days of meetup. But so far, how has been the reception from you? Like, how did you feel about the program already? Not even first 7 days of touch point.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of value.
A lot of value.
A lot of value.
And
Right away.
a lot of learnings as well. Sometimes it might be overwhelming because there's a lot of shit that needs to be done, but it's always like lots of value, right? So first 7 days, we send them a congratulations video, right? What happens with you specifically? Like there's after they access the support system and the program, what is the specific video that they get?
As of now, there's no video.
There's no video, right? So it would be an important video to congratulate them, because again, we need to remind them of the goal that they set for themselves. They have a target already, and sometimes when they don't get reminded, they will also be like hopping onto this and being redirected to another target, which is not good when they've already take a step closer to the outcome that we provide for them. The onboarding, of course, and then setting the right expectations. The problems with Zach's offer right now, one main thing that has been being exposed on the ground from the first touch point of us meeting is that there are clients that don't know what actually gets taken down when they get to be transformed. For example, we have a client that has already transformed their body from skinny fat to fit, but for some reason they are not able to inspire others and be willing to be in a case study or testimonial. Meaning, the expectations was not set right, that this is not just a physical transformation. This is an ongoing, lifelong changing, where you actually inspire people, motivate them to take the right step, basically taking them to the point A where they currently stay at. Now, we go to the team introductions. You have to understand that they didn't buy your program. They bought you as a person. They bought Zach as a person. And it's basically gonna go together when the personal brand is dialed. They don't buy the transformation. They buy Zach, who underwent the transformation, right? So a team introduction is very important. But right now, since you have a CSM, that could be on the inside program and not in the marketing, right? Now, time frame roadmap. You remember I sent you a 6-month roadmap yesterday? And you basically have an idea of what we're gonna do in the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, up to the next 6 months, right? So having that clarity of a visual representation of how they would go from point A to point B, where they already transformed, right? And a time frame roadmap is gonna solidify that. Now, how do we actually structure a fulfillment program? Because this is getting slept on, basically in the industry. No one is teaching people how to actually fulfill for others, genuinely. Now, we have already framework lessons. We already have action plans. And the element that I would like to add for you is a self-review checklist. For example, you already have lessons, and Coach Ren asked them to be having the action plans. But after that, what happens next?
So we have the lesson, these are the modules,
Mhm.
action plans, the program, the check-ins.
Mhm.
We also have the bi-weekly check-ins, weekly group calls.
But guess this, what if we could have another layer where they can have a self-review checklist before going into a call with your CSM? Imagine what this does and lightening up the load for Coach Ren. For example, they have an action plan of prepping their diet, right? I don't know if that's the real case with the program, but for example, they have a way for them to self-prep their diet. What if they can have a self-review checklist where they would have a choice if they could book a call or they just review it themselves, because they basically have an SOP of a checklist that they need to check if this is right or wrong. So they have another layer of exposure where, do I just actually need a call with this for my coach, for Zach or for Coach Ren, or can I just do it myself, right? Because what you have to understand is the main reason why some clients take little longer to succeed in a certain program is not because the program is shit. It's just because they have unclarity. They don't know what to do, right? So imagine if you could they book a call with you or Coach Ren, but they would wait days for that call to come up. What if they can review it from this moment and then just figure out if the thing that they did is right or wrong, right? It's a great opportunity, right? Now, a review call is gonna be eliminated or unless minimized, because what we want is like scalability. And with ongoing clients more and more, if they all book a call on a certain time period, it's gonna be unmanageable at a certain point. So we want to have that self-review checklist. Now, after a self-review checklist, after the lesson and after the action plan, we will be able to have adjustments. Because like you said, everything is tailored or everything is framed as catered to one person. We can probably like track their records. And I know you're already tracking it, right? I see the Excel sheets. Basically, Zach here is a data gummy, right? And then after all of those adjustments and all of those self-review checklists, we have an improved result. And after that improved result, I want to show you this, because this is the fulfillment flywheel. How can we make sure that everything that we do from the moment that client decides to invest in us, they get a data point in which we can use. For example, just like this, a touch point with you and me is getting turned into a video, which is a point of efficiency. For you, how can we turn a client from being just there in their program, but we maximize their value to us? Not just the LTV, but their value to us. How can we use them in our marketing? How can we use them in our case studies? And how can they be an instrument or a testimonial to improve our fulfillment? So right now, the client get results. But after that, they share the testimonials. When we set the expectations right, they share happily their testimonials. And they would love to appear and inspire other people. What if the already testimonials or the case studies that we already have in your group calls, what if you can invite them to hop on and share their stories? Wouldn't it be a spotlight for them to really inspire the others? And again, you see that it's all encircled by the community, because what we ultimately want is not just a program where people come from point A and then graduate. We want them to stay, and a community is a factor of them staying because they become friends with other clients. The community is what they love the most, and the structure and the habits that they form being in the program is the real value, right? And then when they share the testimonials, we create those case studies, and you already have a second page, right? You already know what I did with other clients that I made. The blue case study carousels that I did for other clients, we could all turn this into that easily, right? That's another point of leverage. So your personal brand is almost identical to your client page, which is not good right now, because what happens is that they get delivered to another program, which might cause them to go back to your profile or dip or go away, right? So what we want is, instead of the second page on just being another bloat, another secondary page which gets attention, we want it to actually add, right? We want it to add more, not take away, right? And then from those case studies, we get better results, because People don't just get insights. Your clients just don't get insights from the program, from the lessons, from the action plans, and from the calls. They also get insights from the already case studies that we have. Because what happens when they read them is that, oh, okay, this client is going through the same process as I did. Now they think, okay, so if they're going through this process, I can just track back what he did and then apply it to myself. I don't have to necessarily just ask Coach Ren or necessarily just ask Zach. I can reverse engineer what he did so I can apply it for myself. It's another point of leverage, not just in the marketing, but also in the fulfillment, right? And then we innovate the systems. With those case studies, we have infinite data points in which we could navigate in order for us to innovate the system. What if one client encountered a problem specifically on their exercise? For example, what if your client requested a dashboard of how I can see my progress would be great? That's an innovation system. And it's not just on the fulfillment side. You can see that how I presented myself to you is an innovation standpoint. Everyone is doing Myra House. Everyone is doing all these Hormozy type of presentations, but I did a slightly different way. So I'm innovating in my marketing, meaning you could take that on your own and present it. You present yourself differently with your clients and your prospects, right? And then we go and improve our coaching. How do we actually want, or how do we actually go in the process of improving our coaching? And that's in the back end, that's in the fulfillment. Because this is what you have to understand. You cannot have a great fulfillment, a golden fulfillment, if no one went through them. Another thing is you get better marketing, just like what I said time and time again with Zach. And then after this better clients, we get more clients. And more clients gets us better results. And those loop of the flywheel just repeats itself and propagates itself. And so the 6-month roadmap is great that I said to you because it sets the expectations right. Setting expectations is the end all be all of a good fulfillment because exposure is equal to experience. When you get exposed to my original program, my own fulfillment, you can apply it to yourself. The exposure is what matters most. For example, what is your experience with me? Just a quick rundown of how the things went.
I mean, everything was laid out.
Everything was laid out. That's it. Everything was laid out because the Notion dashboard, the meetings, and even the in-person coaching with me is like fulfilling. We're basically friends right now, right? So the exposure to being with people is the most important part when you speed up the process of your experience. And the 6-month roadmap will give them the idea. For example, the roadmap that I present to you, which is roadmap 1. How can we turn this to with your clients? For example, in the first, second week, what do they do? The third, fourth week, what do they do, right? Third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And after this point of origin, they can go to their desired outcome. So it's basically laid out for them, just like what I said to you. Everything is visual. When you see things, and it matches the verbal communication of how they communicate it to you, it all makes sense. It's easy to understand. Just like what I said, like what you said to me, right, yesterday. Like you said to me that because I have these presentations, it's more tactile. You can look at it, you can touch it, and you can feel that I've put effort into it, right? That's it. How do you go over it? Like, is it value?
No, yeah, it's great.
But
it's great. I like the fulfillment flywheel a lot.
Oh, okay.
That one makes a lot of sense for sure because I'm able to understand if basically these are the things that I just need to work on every single time with my fulfillment.
exactly.
And as long as I keep this cycle going, then
And it's not like you're already still on the ground implementing everything. You have a bird's eye view on everything because now you're operating as a founder. You're scaling, you're hiring, you're firing, you're onboarding clients, right? So you have this fulfillment flywheel that goes back and forth and improves yourself every single time, right? Okay. Any other questions?
No, yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you learned a lot. We had a good time with me and Zach, and we're basically just running around and taking everything step by step and making sure that we do everything with fun and we're building long-lasting relationships. And if you have questions, just ask me out on my Instagram. And if you have questions and resources to ask, just DM me, and we'll see each other again in the next episode.